position in American sports feels the pressure or the weight on their shoulders like a quarterback. Hopes and dreams of an entire fan base of teams ride on whether their signal caller can lead them to glory. And boy, what a matchup of two elite dudes we have in this one. Welcome to Chapel Hill, North Carolina, Keenan Memorial Stadium, the home of the North Carolina Tar Heels. As we'll see, the runner-up from last year's national championship, the LSU Tigers, taking on one of the participants from last year's playoff, the North Carolina Tar Heels. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by a couple of legends, and yes, we do use that term loosely. David Pollock from the University of Georgia and former Gator Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's get down to the field. And it'll come out to the 25, no attempt at a return. Snags a quick pass on the left. Great pickup as they'll keep this drive moving, and they've got it at the 45. This guy's always a big part of the game plan, and they get him involved right off the bat.
I mean, it's pretty simple. Your best players should touch the football the most. First play out the gates. I know I got a big-time advantage, big-time wide receiver. Get him the football, make the game. I expect we'll see a lot more of that throughout this football game.
And you want to talk about gang tackling. Everybody on the defense run to the ball. After picking up a couple at 2nd and 8. Rides the back and leaves it. And a nice solid pickup there before the defense wrestles him to the ground. The Tigers come to the line on 3rd and short, hoping to keep the drive alive. Snap from the gun on 3rd down. That was almost picked off, and what a disaster that would have been to throw a pick on the opening drive. Instead, it's 4th down. When you reach this point in the season, these types of games, top 25 matchups, really determine whether you're going to be a contender.
Yeah, and really show what you're going to be the rest of the season. How are you going to finish strong throughout the season? You know, the first part of the season, now getting to the middle of the season, Palmer, getting a chance to show what you're about so you can finish strong.
It's a resume builder, no doubt about it. And really, there's been so much anticipation building up to this top 25 matchup. So which team can control their emotions, I think, goes a long way in who wins this one.
Timeout is called, and it's the defense wanting to make sure that everyone's on the same page for this big down. This offense has moved into plus territory, and they want to keep the heat on. They'll go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. Makes the grab, got the conversion, and still going. What a nice connection. Knocked down immediately, and they've got it at the 25.
Well, this quarterback has a ton of confidence in his wide receivers to win one-on-one. And you're not going to get a bigger opportunity to prove that than on that 4th down. That was a throw vertically down the field. Not an easy one to complete. He just knew where his guy was going to be and when. Stuck it right on him, and they keep the drive alive.
Last couple of plays, the offense seems to be just one step ahead, David.
Yeah, and I'm going to have to do something to disrupt the timing, the rhythm. I got to do something that they're not expecting, because right now they got the run and they got the pass working. So this defense will have to find something new to kind of confuse this offense.
He'll be hauled down just inside the 10 at the 9 as they're trying to turn this into a score. Now, guys, when it comes to LSU, really interesting matchup here. It's always fun when the top two teams in the conference get to square off in the regular season. With all the expansion, it's become a little bit of a rarity, hasn't it?
It has. Obviously, there's so many teams in each conference, but head-to-head still very much matters. So if you're sitting, obviously, at the top like these teams are, the head-to-head this day will really matter down the road.
Yeah, this was a game we circled way back in the preseason, expecting these two teams to be as good as they are, and now we get to find out who's the best in conference. Both these teams relishing this opportunity to show not only their opponent, but the rest of the conference who the top dog is.
And they can't make the play on third down.
Nice job by the defense. They're mixing up their look. They're third and long in field goal range. They go zone coverage. So everybody on the back end has the eye on the quarterback, and they're able to break on the ball, force the incompletion.
And they'll send out the field goal unit. Dead center perfect. And with that, they break the seal on the scoring. It's 3-0.
Man, these late-night crowds are so much fun. They're so into it, so much energy in this building. And the visiting team drives down the field. Tell you what, drive stalls out a little bit, but they quieted this place a little bit by getting 3 and starting this game off on the right foot.
He'll be chased out of bounds inside his own 20 at the 18-yard line, and a great job of coverage there. Running back searching for a hole. Got room to work. Out across the 20 to the 21-yard line, a 3-yard gain. This is the kind of game, a top 25 matchup in the early season, that you look for when you're trying to build your resume.
Yeah, these are so fun because as a player, you kind of get bored if you don't get challenged. But when you got an early season challenge like this, all the adrenaline, all the juice, Palmer, you're ready to rock and roll.
I love this. We've had this game circled for a long time because we learn a lot in these types of games. What are these teams about? Which conferences are better? You're going to get a lot of answers today.
They'll snap it on first down from the 35. Use the play fake. Now to throw. Fires to the wideout. He's got it. And they reacted well to the completion, but it was too late to keep him from getting the first down. The Tar Heels have it with a 1st and 10. Looking downfield, it's done. Working that left side down. Brought down at the 39 after a pickup of 10. It'll be a first down. Passing game kept this drive moving. Let's see if they try it again. They'll keep it on the ground. He breaks a tackle. And he is swarmed under a host of defenders there to make the stop.
And you want to run the football. That's okay. You'll take some of these. But if they start to add up down the road, obviously, you might want to think about airing it out a little bit.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. He's got it again. Lowers that shoulder, delivers the blow. He goes out of bounds across the 25, mark it at the 20. In this defense, its head is spinning. And the Tar Heels kept this drive moving on the ground. Now back to work. Looking to throw on first down. They'll run the screen. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
And you're trying to get the ball to the running back quick and let him get some space, but there was absolutely no space. They penetrated quickly, and they got him before he could even get going.
Working well behind the sticks on second down. Quarterback adjusting the pattern. Back to pass. Time running out, and he goes down at the 34.
And how about the defense getting home with the pass rush? Playing man coverage in the back end. You need to win up front. Those guys got to get to the quarterback, do a great job rushing the passer. I can play man when I got a pass rush like that.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, doesn't need to take the check down. Fires to the big fella. That's a really good tackle there, giving up some size and still making the play. That play didn't have much of a chance to get the first down. Good job by the defense keeping everything in front.
Great job keeping everything in front, and most importantly, making the tackles. Dropping back deep, knowing it's 3rd and long, but I got to get the guy on the ground and rally to the football. Nice job by the defense.
Absolutely perfect. And that's going to give us a tie ball game here in the first.
And you want a touchdown and you want to be aggressive, but man, right down the middle, that obviously gives me some confidence down the road that I can trust this guy.
All tied up and just about set to kick it away. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. To the ground with the back. Finds that crease, and he's got 4 out to the 29.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive, stick your foot in the ground, pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
He had all kinds of company as soon as he got it. He had to fight his way back just to get to the line of scrimmage. Boy, there wasn't much room to wiggle for that running back there.
None at all. Great job by the defense getting the backfield quickly, closing up all the holes, nowhere to run.
It's been punch, counter-punch throughout the early part of this game as we take a look at the first quarter stats. This offense had a little extra time to think about it. Let's see what they have on 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. It's incomplete, and he's lucky to get that one back. Almost intercepted. Looks as if LSU will line up to punt it away. First time we've seen their punt team tonight. First one's on its way. The leg ought to be strong. Only called on twice in the victory last week. He gets it up to the 34-yard line before he stopped, and that's where the offense will set up shop. Motion from the wide receiver. Gonna run it. It's trailer. And a pickup of 8 opens a world of opportunities on 2nd and 2.
And winning first downs is a priority for a defense, and you can't get bludgeoned. You can't get physically beat at the point of attack. You know the percentages.
Fires one high and deep. And they wanted it all on that incomplete pass. Instead, they're looking at 3rd down.
This defense knew coming in the offense was going to try to test them. They were going to try to take some shots vertically down the field. Defense was ready for that one.
The Tar Heels come to the line on 3rd and short, trying to keep the drive alive. To throw, it's done. Pucks it out of the air. And they'll spot it at the 45. That's good enough for a first down. And on that 3rd and short, I don't think he was unhappy to see that zone.
Nope, it's a great job by the offense. Hey, see where the holes in the zone are? Sit down. You only need a little bit of yards on this 3rd down. Get the conversion. Move the sticks.
He's knocked out of bounds as he gets it across midfield and down to the 46.
And that's what I love about this offense. You're not going to get all of your big chunk plays in the passing game by throwing it deep down the field. You can kind of dink and dunk. And on that RPO play, they had it dialed up and set up to go to that player in the right front. Nice job.
Man, those are so hard to defend. You know, the quarterback, obviously he's doing the run-pass option and creating some indecision in my head. And look at that. He hands it off, and the back gets a quick 10. Easy. You know, like just chews up yardage. Just really, really tough to stop those kind of plays.
Right back to the well. They pick up half of it. It'll be 2nd and 5.
And that's a really nice play. It's impressive. When it's first down and the defense thinks you might be running the football, you still can line up. You can get some movement at the point of attack and find a little crease for your running back.
Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. Quickly out to the tight end. Turning it on! They make the tackle, but he's got a fresh set of downs, and it's 1st and goal from the 7.
Well, I know the tight end did some good things after the catch, but got to give the quarterback credit, too, for the location of the throw. Because he put it out in front of his big man, he was able to make the catch and accelerate, creating some distance there between him and the defense.
From the gun, he'll try to throw. Looking for the goal line. Touchdown, UNC! They punctuate the chant with a trip to the end zone. And they knock through the extra point for the 10-3 lead. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Gentlemen, that pivotal top 15 battle is in the books. Here's how things went down. Ohio State looked dominant in a victory that was never really in question. That offense had zero problem putting up points. Not unlike the days of Stroud and Fields and so many greats before them. Always fun to see two of the game's better teams duke it out at this point of the season. A good barometer, fellas, for both coaches.
Yeah, how about that? Sounds as if they had a good ball game there, Kevin. Thanks for the update. LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. They'll start this drive down by a touchdown, trailing 10-3. Works the middle. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain. Still some work to do after that last completion at 2nd down. The inside handoff. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
That's a fantastic play by the linebacker. He has such tremendous instincts. As soon as he sees run, he's coming downhill, he's got great speed, he gets you on the ground. That's why he's one of the best linebackers in the entire country.
From the gun on 3rd down. It's complete to the right. Building momentum, picking up a chunk of yardage, moving the chains out to the 34. These two guys, just on the same wavelength, they make clutch connections all the time.
And that's practice, man. That's all summer. That's all spring. Just so many hundreds and thousands of balls where you know exactly when that guy's going to break. You know he's a stud. You're going to feed him, especially on these 3rd down situations.
Let's see what they've got on 2nd down. And they can't make the connection.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the first half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the second half, they've got to make some adjustments here at halftime.
Lost a throw again. Quickly complete. They'll get him on the ground at the 46, and it'll be a 1st down.
Nice job by the running back, catching the football and understanding where the 1st down marker was. I got to go get that 1st down. He did a nice job of it.
Rides the back and leaves it on the option. Got enough for the 1st. And he was able to shed a tackle and pick up the 1st down before they finally get him on the ground. Finally, this offense starting to show a little juice. They've got a 1st and 10. They'll send the tight end in motion. They'll try to get outside. Not this time. After finding running room on the previous play, nowhere to go this time around as the defense rises up. After losing yardage, it's 2nd and 12. Looking to fire. He's got an open man. They finally get to him, but what a play there to pick up the 1st down.
That's a really nice job holding that pass in, and you think LSU has just been such a breeding ground in recent years for receivers. Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, OBJ, Jarvis Landry, they all have the ability to make a play anywhere on the field, and that's what this guy can do. You can line him up anywhere. He can run routes at all 3 levels of the secondary. The defense has to know where he is lined up every single play.
The Tigers with myriad options after that big pickup on 1st down. Wants to fire on second down. Touchdown, LSU! Made the grab in the end zone for the score.
Yeah, and the passing game comes through, man, and we need more of that in the second half. An extra point away from tying this football game. You trailed a little bit in the first half, stayed calm. If this passing game can continue to heat up, look out in the second half.
The extra point here would tie the game. And he tacked on the extra point. The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Off the play fake on first down, wants to throw. Quarterback extends the play. On the move to the right and looking for a big one. And he picks up a huge chunk of yards on that play before he's finally hauled down. They just dialed up one big play. Let's see if they've got another one on 1st and 10 from the 35. They'll rip off 8 on that play. It's 2nd and 2.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
They'll send the back in motion. Back to pass. It's done. Pulls it in. It's Trailer. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few. Timeout called by the defense. It's their first of the half as they'll make some adjustments. And the Tar Heels are facing 3rd and inches. Offense calls a timeout here. Critically important to make sure they have the right play called and everyone on the same page here. The Tar Heels come to the line needing just inches for the first down. He'll throw on 3rd down. Finds his big tight end. That'll be enough for a first down, and they've got it at the 16-yard line. They'll run it in the red zone. It's Trailer. They get him down, but he was driving his way and gets it down to the 7-yard line. Going to work in the red zone. They can't pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. Going to swing it on 2nd down. Buying some time. He just threw that one away. Nobody was getting open. He had to live to fight another play in the red zone. It'll be 3rd down.
Man, it's nice to have a quarterback that can do this. Last week he was unbelievable. This week, even better. This dude is absolutely on fire, in the zone, feeling it, using the whole field, doing whatever he wants, when he wants, how he wants.
Into the end zone. Touchdown, North Carolina!
And the offense breaks the tie, takes the lead, gains some momentum. How big is this, Palmer, now? Going into the half with the lead, with the momentum.
Well, they break the tie, but they also break their confidence a little bit now. The opponent now has to go into the locker room probably down, and they're wondering, what adjustments do we have to make? What do we have to fix? Because we've got our work cut out for us in this game.
The kickoff bounces through the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 25. This late in the half, here's the question. How aggressive will the play calling be? Wants to throw on 1st down. Makes the grab on the left. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for 1 or 2 more plays. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. Wants to throw. He's working against the clock. Connection to the right. And he gets it to the 45-yard line, and that'll be a first down. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. Just enough time for one final play of the half. They're working that left side. They make the stop, and that is the end of the first half. We played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update. LSU will put foot to leather to start the second half. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. North Carolina has it back, and the Tar Heels so pleased to send the offense back out. Dropping back, it's done. Sets up the screen. A 7-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 3.
Well, a nice gainer on that running back screen. How about the offensive line getting downfield and getting blocks to really help out the back, find some space to go to work?
Here he goes, breaking the pocket. Throwing on the run. Wide open, he makes the catch. Lots of green grass as he gets it to the 31. One big play can really flip the script of a drive. It's 1st and 10 from just outside the 30. He'll do it himself. Got to protect the merchandise. Gets down without taking a hit.
Well, the QB decided to keep it on that one. And listen, if you had his athleticism, you'd want to keep it too. Almost every time they run these types of option plays. But he's just going to have to do a good job of understanding when to hand it off, when to pitch it, and try to keep this defense on their heels and read his keys. He's got a lot of talent. Just got to make sure he's making the right decisions moving forward.
He does a good job of dropping back, going through his progressions. Nothing there. What do? Go get some yardage. Make it positive. Don't sit back in the pocket and force something into a bad situation or take a sack. Great job making something out of nothing.
Wide receiver going in motion. They'll give it to the back. He's pulled down after a tough run. Gets it to the 6.
This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. If you've got the lead in the 3rd quarter and you want to keep it, you got to bleed the clock. Best way to do that, run the football. And you're now seeing this offense call these run plays back to back. They are trying to be physical, and they're trying to stay on the field.
Fires to the end zone. And that one was way too far for anybody to catch, except ticket holders.
Well, I love the coverage on defense. In the red zone, everyone's got their eyes on the quarterback, and they're flying to the football, and you saw that there on the incompletion.
Boy, they'd love to move the sticks here and take a shot at it on 1st and goal. To the air, it's done. Using his feet to buy time. Running toward the goal line, it's a fumble. Recovered by the defense, and he's off. The 50. And they were channeling their inner Mike the Tiger. Don't you think Mike could get a big paw in there to swat that thing free the way the Bayou Bengals do?
Yeah, and when you're the secondary and you're flying up, great job understanding. The guy's already kind of slowing down a little bit, but where do I put my head? I put my head on the football, get my hand on the football. Those guys, those DBs from LSU really understanding that flying up, making the big play.
The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. They'll start this drive going to the air. Here's the pressure. Touchdown, Tigers! They took a shot to the end zone and found 6 points waiting on them.
Well, you can't get momentum in a game any better than they just did. Defensively, you get the turnover. Right away, your offense jogs on the field. You take a shot deep, you hit it for a touchdown. They've got a lot of explosive playmakers on this offense, and you saw it right there.
And we're all square as he's set to kick it away. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. Out comes the offense as they get set to take over. Going right to work up top. Unloads to the right. All by himself. They mark him out of bounds at the 42, and they're on the move.
Well, how about the offense setting that play up? We've seen earlier in the game a couple shorter throws. They're just trying to suck those safeties closer to the line of scrimmage, anticipating that they would get an opportunity to take a shot. They called the perfect play at the perfect time right there.
Trying the left side. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
Well, this running back has had a pretty good day so far in this game, and I think the key right now is for the defense to find a way to slow him down. He had a good run 2 plays ago. The defense gets the TFL on this one. I think you got to change up your fronts defensively and try to give this offensive line different alignment looks to see if they can confuse him.
Looking for a man. It's done. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. 4th down coming up.
This is a point where you just got to be able to focus. And the critical down and distances in this game, like that 3rd down right there, when it's a good throw, you got to make the catch. You got to be able to make that play.
What an absolute howitzer he unleashed off his foot. After putting up a 3-spot, the kickoff unit set to go. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. Dive into the playbook here on offense. He stuck the last drive in the end zone. They'll try to follow suit here. The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half.
Timeout, LSU.
They'll run this play from the pistol. On the move. Picks up the first down, still moving. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they get it out to the 36.
And running backs are so good, so talented, so elusive. You see nowadays they really have the ability to make you miss, run you over. Unbelievable effort. Nice job. You keep that going, it'll be hard to stop.
Missed his receiver there. It's incomplete.
Quarterback had everything he wanted there. He knew pre-snap exactly where he was going. Of course, he was going to be going towards his primary target. Just can't hook up with the completion.
Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. Wants to go up top. That's caught. It's Crispin. Brought down at the 46, but he got 10 on the play. LSU quick to the line.
All right, defense, you got to turn the page. You just gave up an explosive play through the air, but here comes the offense going quickly. You got to get lined up now and get ready for another one.
So now it's 2nd and long. Misfired on the last play. They'll go back to the air. A strike downfield. Gets it all the way inside the 20-yard line to the 19 before being hauled down.
Well, he was putting up big numbers coming into this one. We knew the quarterback was going to go his way early and often. And with that last catch, he's now got over 500 yards receiving on the year.
They're threatening to score, and they'll throw it. Thanks to grab. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down.
My old coach said you'll never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
Wants to throw again. Fires into the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers. They take the lead with the 6. Like a Thanksgiving turkey. And let's hold on just a minute here as the officials are going to have a second look. And the play will stand after the replay booth just does a little double checking to make sure. Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And right down the middle. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
All right, guys, a little update on what else is happening in college football this weekend. Pitt is ahead early in the Steel City, but that's not exactly Tony Dorsett out there running the ball. This game is a long way from being over. They're up by a field goal over Syracuse. This one has actually kind of exceeded expectations. Always a memorable chapter in the book of college football.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. The North Carolina offense returns to the field. Man, how comforting is it to know that even if your offense stalls out a little, Jesse, that field goal kicker can knock it in from a long way out.
Well, he's one of the best in the country, Reese, no doubt. But this offense would like him and prefer for him to kick an extra point on this drive. And to do that, David, they've got to have more rhythm on offense.
Yeah, create some more rhythm, create some more explosive plays, and maybe some more balance. And listen, it's nice to have that weapon and kick long field goals. If you kick too many field goals, you don't get very many W's.
Trying to escape and get it himself. Picks up the first down and gets down to avoid contact.
You know, QBs want to make those big plays. They want to put up the big stats. But when nothing's there, sometimes you just tuck the ball, get a minimal gain. I like the slide, by the way, too. Get down and don't take a big hit.
Dropping back, it's done. Fires it beautifully in on the crosser. He got loose, almost housed it, finally dragged down at the 32. And the Tar Heels will line it up on 1st and 10. Leaves it with the back. Got enough for the first down and wants more. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
Wow. 4 plays on this drive by the offense. They already got 3 first downs. We knew they had a lot of playmakers coming into this game, and they're showing that right now. This defense is going to have to make a play at some point here and stop the bleeding.
Got some room, headed to the goal line. Touchdown, Tar Heels. And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house.
Man, this defense has their hands full. They're dealing with a quarterback that is pinpoint accurate, making good decisions, and they're dealing with a wide receiving group that has a lot of speed and some burners on the perimeter. They might want to think about playing some more zone coverage moving forward. That's now 3 passing TDs they've allowed.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. To the air on 1st down. Shoots it to the left. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. Racing down the left side. Touchdown LSU. He got loose and it was lights out after that.
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge. And also the anticipation, the timing. To be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone, that was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, David. Listen, a lot of times touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
On the run from inside his own 5. Out to the 32-yard line before he goes out of bounds, and that's the way to give a little start to the drive. North Carolina has it back, and the Tar Heels so pleased to send the offense back out. They'll try the run. And how about the efficiency on that one? It'll bring up 2nd and 4.
Really nice first down run. And you're seeing why this running back is an every down type back. He can run between the tackles. He can run outside. He can catch the football. He can block. This guy can do it all.
Looking to throw. It's done. Bringing the heat. Pass rush coming after the quarterback, and they get him at the 32.
Well, they're able to get the negative play, great individual effort. I know LSU's defense always goes by DBU, but they've had some big-time players up front on that D-line, too. And you think recently, guys like Marcus Spears, Glenn Dorsey, Kiki Mingo, Daniil Hunter, dudes that can line up one-on-one. These guys were like avatars with their frames. So difficult to block and so athletic. That's what this guy reminds you of sometimes.
Not only is the scoreboard on their side, but so too is time as we open the fourth. So we open the final period with a third down play. On third and long, try to convert through the air. He's got it at the 15. Oh, he thought for sure he was going to be able to house that one, but a huge pickup all the way down to the 12. They say it's still a game of field position, and that last one just flipped this baby. They've got it 1st and 10 in the red zone. Might be calling a hot route. Looking to throw on 1st down. And they get to the quarterback and knock him down back at the 16.
That is an example of a defender just stepping up and making a play. You just gave up a big completion down the field. That's not going to happen again. That's not happening on my watch. Right away, that D lineman decides to go after the QB, and he makes a big play.
The Tar Heels with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. He makes a grab. That completion has them right on the doorstep. They'll mark it at the 1.
It's important on offense to get the tight ends involved in the passing game. These are big fellas that can run, and this guy's a big target, so nice job on that play.
Quarterback sneaking his way, tunneling and burrowing into the line. And the Tar Heels are in the hurry-up. Quarterback sneak, wedging himself into the line. And I don't think he got in. Those big bodies up front just creating a wall at the goal line. Tackle behind the line of scrimmage, and what a big third down stop by this defense.
Couple things I loved about this defense. They didn't get deterred. They gave up some yards, got all the way down here near the goal line, but now bowing their necks up. Big stop on 3rd down, forcing a 4th down opportunity ahead.
Down in the final period in a tight game, and they will go for it on 4th and goal. Quick pass on the fly motion. Touchdown, UNC! And they've moved out front here in the 4th. If he can make this one, the lead will be 3. And the extra point puts them up by a field goal. 76 yards on the drive for the touchdown. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. Things have not gone the way they had planned, but maybe an opportunity to salvage this bumpy ride so far and avoid the upset.
Well, it's a nice job by the defender. They're closing the gap with the wide receiver. They're going to complete the hitch pass, but he's able to run right up on him, get him to the ground for a minute.
And the Tigers in a good spot here with 2nd and short. Power football with the run. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
And, man, it's nice to have a guy that is just better than your guys. Hey, no matter what play you call, man, how about him getting in the backfield quick, penetrating, using his quickness, and using his strength to get him to the ground. That is a ball.
Shotgun snap, wants to throw it on 3rd. Can't make the play on the interception, and man, they were looking for their first pick of the game. Instead, it'll be 4th down.
And this is why coaches get paid the big bucks. Tough decision on your own side of the field. 4th quarter, I'm trailing. Is it go time now, or do I trust my defense?
We've got a timeout from the kicking team.
Timeout, LSU.
It's a one-score game late, and they've got to go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Big tight end makes the grab. It's a first down. He gets those chains moving, gets it out to the 42-yard line. Not really a huge decision there. You don't want to give up the football at this juncture of the game, and they're able to keep the drive going.
You know, the head coach here obviously feels like punts and field goals are not going to get him back in it, so put this one on your quarterback. Trust in him to go out and execute and give your team a chance to win.
Backed up now, here's second and long. Back to pass. On target over the middle. Oh, and the defense in chase mode, and they finally get him down at the 35. He is having a day, and there's still a ways to go, but pretty soon he might make a call on Kayshon Boutte's single-game receiving record.
Yeah, and if I'm him, I'm going to my QB and be like, listen, dog, I'm close. Feed me that rock. I want to go get the record. Nobody's guarding me. Nobody can stop me. Just get it to me, and I'll make the plays for you. And right now, listen, if I'm the LSU quarterback, I'm like, yeah, you keep doing that, I'll keep feeding you the rock.
Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Pulls and fires it complete to the right. And he'll run across the sidelines after the good gain.
Man, what a really nice job by being disciplined by this defense. Like, understanding I'm trying to rush the passer, probably a passing situation type of a deal, but doing it with some discipline. They try to sneak the screen in. They were ready for it. Nice job by this defense.
Grab near the sticks. It's Mayo. Just outside the red zone as they pick up the first down. They'll spot it at the 22. Third down, a lot of times it comes down to not necessarily who's the most open, who do you trust the most?
Yeah, it's not about the X's and the O's. It's about the Jimmies and the Joes. And when my guy's better than you and I get you matched up out wide and I know I trust you, I'm finding you.
That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball. The negative play leaves them with 2nd and 12. Looking to fire. Rushes on him. Skips away from pressure. Oh, and he got drilled as he just got rid of the football.
And we need more of this from this defense, man. They have let this guy have too much time to throw the football. They haven't gotten that jersey dirty yet, haven't sacked him. But this is just as good as a sack. Getting to him, hitting him, letting him feel the physicality of this game, and not letting him feel comfortable.
Got him downfield. And they finally get him stopped, but it's a big throw and catch, and he's down at the 5.
And now he's in the 400 club, 400. That's a pretty good day at the office when you're putting up over 400 yards. This defense hadn't had a lot of answers.
And a touchdown here would not only give them the lead, but in the fourth quarter, that ramps up the pressure. With the run on 1st and goal. Not a whole lot of room to run. Let's give him a couple. They've got it down to the 3. Now it's 2nd and goal. We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and time is of the essence for this offense to get things done. Got nothing last time. Now 2nd and goal from the 3. Looking for a path to the end zone to the right. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
Man, and that's a frustrating play when you go in reverse near the goal line, goal-to-go situations, Palmer. You got to get those positive yards. You can't go backwards if you're trying to get a touchdown.
Touchdown, Tigers! And with that, they move out front here in the 4th.
Man, and just what the doctor ordered. You needed a big play to go out there and try to take the lead, and you find your receiver out wide. He runs by the DB. Nice throw, nice catch. You got the lead.
And he passes on the touchback. Here he comes. Good job by the coverage unit to put a stop to that return. first play of this drive comes from the 14-yard line. Wants to throw. It's done. Quick completion on the out. Now they've got a little room to work with. They're out to the 28 with a first down. Everybody has to be set. They have to get it off. Off the play fake on first down. Got it in the middle. It's Trailer. Makes the grab and not quite enough for the first down, but a good gain on that play. Quick tempo, no huddle offense. Second down, clock's running. Wants to go up top. Keeps looking downfield. And not much going on downfield. He'll just get rid of it and live to play another down.
And obviously that wasn't a great play for this offense, but the defense did their job. They flushed him outside the pocket. But nothing worse than getting tackling in bounds or throwing it for a 4-yard gain, letting that clock tick. Nice job throwing it away, saving as much time as you can.
They'll throw on 3rd and short. Unloads to the wideout. Oh, what a spectacular layout and catch. It's a first down. They'll stop the clock to reset the chains. Offense up tempo. Wants to go up top on first down. Fires to the tight end. That had all the makings of bug meat windshield, but how about the little corner taking on the big tight end and keeping him from getting the first? The Tar Heels with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. Back to pass. Right down the middle. He had that one slip to the ground, and if he had held on, that might have been a wrap. Instead, it'll be 3rd down.
This really has been a masterclass by the quarterback with decision-making, right? We've already seen him throw multiple touchdown passes in the game. He's understood when to take his shots and when to throw it away when things aren't there, like on that last play.
Grab behind the line. It's Trailer. Across the 25, he's got room. Tremendous awareness to get what he could and get out of bounds, and now the offense trying to score one late.
This is why you practice 2-minute situations all week leading up to a game. I love the execution on that last play. Get the completion, guy gets out of bounds.
Touchdown, North Carolina! And they've got the lead in the final minute.
And this is a running back, guys, that gets better as the game goes on. Here we are late in this one, and he's still breaking off big runs. Impressive, making people miss, showing you the speed. And that touchdown gives his team the lead.
They're set to kick it off. Do you think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Starts a drive trying to go up top. Snagged in the middle. It's Simon. He gets those chains moving, gets it out to the 42-yard line. The offense will use a timeout with 25 seconds left. They've got to move quickly here. Still a chance, but they've got to force the ball down the field. Looking downfield on first down. Makes the grab. It's Christmas. Now they're starting to feel it. They've got a first down at the 44. Trying to get everybody lined up and get this play off and get a little closer to the end zone. Throws for the tight end. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on first down. Second down coming.
Well, the windows right now to throw into are getting smaller and smaller. How about the defender that time breaking on the ball? It was the hit that caused the incompletion.
Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on second down. After the incompletion, they go back up top. He had that one slip to the ground, and if he had held on, that might have been a wrap. Instead, it'll be third down.
And I'm so interested to see how this young man responds, man. Like, he has been really good all game long. Put up some big numbers, but now it's prime time. It's a big moment. Can he step up in this spotlight, make a big drive, make a big play for his team to maybe go win this football game?
Throws to the tight end. excel. I mean, you just dream of having games like that every time you go into the booth. I'll watch those two teams play anytime.
Yeah, that's what's fun about good teams. Really good teams squaring off. Like, there wasn't a lot of difference between these two squads. We could watch these every week. Love calling these games because they're competitive. Great talent on the field. Palmer, unfortunately, somebody had to lose.
Yeah, and the higher-ranked team was ranked higher for a reason. At the end of the day, when it came down to it, they made the biggest plays in the most critical moments. Both of these teams have tremendous playmakers, and they're both going to make a lot of noise late in the college football season, but give the higher-ranked team tons of credit. They earned this one.
Thanks so much for spending some time with us. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.